Here they're asking us to compare some data from Amara and from Lance, and we're specifically comparing their range values, standard deviation, mean, and median. So let's go ahead into Desmos in the upper right corner here, and we're going to add a table by clicking plus, table, and I'm actually going to change the name of these. Instead of X1, I'm going to make it a capital A, and instead of Y1, I'm going to make it a capital L. And then we're going to go in and put everything for Amara. So I'm going to type in the 98, just press enter, 95, 94, 93, 95. And then I'm going to go to the right and then up here to do 96, 95. So all the values for Lance as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here. And since I know I want to calculate, for example, the range as well as the median values, that's going to be the prompt stats. So we can actually click the keyboard here, go to functions, and then when we scroll down in statistics, you'll see all these different options. They do have median as something that they ask for by itself. However, you'll see why I'm going to actually choose stats. And I could type it or just click on it like I just did. Either way, it's going to work. And notice I want to find the stats of first, let's say Amara, which is why I like doing a naming convention like this. And I don't even need to close the parenthesis. Just make sure if it's capital here, you'd make it capital here. And so notice they give us the minimum and maximum. And we know the range is the maximum minus minimum. So clearly the range is 5 here. Let me go ahead and do stats. I'm just going to type it in and do it for Lance. So there we have minimum and maximum. And you can obviously tell this is 12 for the range because 100 minus 88. So Lance has a greater range than Amara. So if Lance has a greater range, it doesn't make sense. Let's go ahead and eliminate it. It doesn't make sense to say that Amara has a greater range. So that took care of the range component. And we can also look at the median. They're saying they have the same median. Well, let's see here. The median for Amara was 95. The median for Lance is 96, which are clearly different numbers. So let me actually click collapse to give myself a little more room, and we'll say that those are not the same. So now we're going to compare the mean and standard deviation. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to type in mean. I could have gone into functions, but we now know this prompt, so I'm just going to type that in. I'm going to do it for Amara, enter, mean, L for Lance, same mean. So that makes C the correct answer. However, let's just look at standard deviation. And in that case, we'll go to function so you can see what the command is. And notice there's standard deviation. And then there's also standard deviation population. We're always going to be doing it from a sample. So just choose STDEV. We'll do Amara. I'll press enter. And I'll do the same thing for Lance. And clearly Lance's is much larger. So it doesn't make sense to say Amara has a greater standard deviation.